Hello and welcome to GameRules.com. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Duck and Cover, a tableau reducing card game for 2 to 7 players. Let's dive in and learn how to play. Out of the box, you will get 3 instruction booklets. Each one is in a different language. We've got English, French, and German, a score pad, 7 decks, 1 for each player, and a captain deck. To set up the game, each player gets their own Duck family deck. This player here has the orange Halloween themed deck. Shuffle those cards and then deal out a 4x3 grid. All of the cards will be dealt face up, and you'll notice that each card has a number and a point value. The point value is indicated down here by this splash symbol. Every card is worth something except for the 1. Ones are 0 points. During the game, you're going to move, stack, and try to organize your cards in such a way that you have the fewest points showing possible. And the player with the lowest score at the end of the game wins. One of the players at the table will be the captain. The captain gets the captain deck. They will be revealing cards from the captain deck and telling people what number to deal with for that round. Essentially, they are the caller, like in a game of bingo. Round begins with the captain revealing the first card from the captain's deck. The captain then says the number out loud, showing it to the players. It is a 1. Now, all the players at the table must do one of 2 things. They can either duck or cover with that card, or they can quack, meaning that they do not have that number available to play. For the first turn on the first round, however, all of the cards will be available. So our player here has a 1. You may choose to cover, which means you pick up the number card that has been called and place it on top of any adjacent card. There are no diagonal movements in this game, only orthogonal. So here our player could stack the 1 on top of the 5, the 3, or the 7. The other option a player has is to duck. If you choose to duck, you take the card that was called and move it to any open space on the grid or around the grid. So for this example, the player could duck with the 1 and put it next to or adjacent to any card on the grid. If there were other open spaces within the grid, they could put the card there. For this first turn, we will go ahead and have the 1 cover the 7. After the captain has called out the number, and every player has ducked, covered, or quacked, that card goes on top of the captain discard pile. That ends the first turn, and now the captain will draw another card and reveal it. There are 2 action cards in the captain deck. This is the repeat card. If a repeat card is drawn and revealed by the captain, then that repeat card represents the number that was just played. We just played a 1, so that repeat card means everybody needs to move their 1 again. When a card has been used to cover another card or cards, a player picks up the entire pile that is covered by the number that was called. So in this case, I would pick up the whole pile under that 1. And again, I can cover or I can duck. So now I can either cover up the 2, the 8, or the 11. Or I could duck by moving this pile to the outside edge, being adjacent to any of the cards on the grid. Or I could move it to this space down here. Again, if a player is unable to move the card that has been called by the captain, they must quack to let the captain know. In this case, we're going to go ahead and pick up this pile and cover up the 11. And then we move on to the next turn. Again, the captain draws and calls out the number 12. Players choose to duck, cover, or quack. If they do not have that number that was called, our player this time is going to go ahead and take the 12 and move it over here by the 1. Again, After everybody has either ducked and covered or quacked, the turn ends and the captain calls the next number. Here we have the second action card in the captain deck. This is the maximum number card. This represents the highest number card that each player has available to them. So for our player here, the 12 is the highest number available. That's the one that has to be used to cover or duck. Now, there is a chance that the repeat card could be drawn after the max card. And if that occurs, then you simply repeat the same card for each player. If that happens, then each player will again work with their largest card showing. So unfortunately, I don't want to cover anything yet. I'm going to go ahead and actually duck with this 12 and move it over here. All right, the captain calls out the next number, which is 7. At this point, anybody who cannot move a 7 must quack, and our player here does not have a 7 to move. They've already covered it up. So this player here quacks. If all of the players at the table quack, meaning nobody's able to move that card, it is removed from the captain deck, and it's put in a separate discard area. This separate discard area also acts as a timer for the round. The round comes to an end as soon as a specific number of cards are put into this discard area. And that number depends on the player count. Now, how does that interact with these action cards? Well, if a repeat card is played right after a number has been quacked, then the repeat card is also quacked. When the round comes to an end, players are going to tally up their score. If a player has more than one pile of cards, then their score will be positive. So this player would have 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. They would earn 6 points for the round. Now, if a player manages to get one pile of cards by the time the round comes to an end, then they would deduct points from their score, and this player would then deduct 2 points from their running total. Document your score on the score pad, play 3 rounds, and the player with the lowest score wins the game. If there is a tie for lowest score, then it is the player with the fewest cards showing that wins the game. If there's still a tie, then the victory is shared. And that's how to play duck and cover. If you have any questions about this game, or if you have a game you would like to see a tutorial for, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I've got playlists here of other card games you might enjoy. If you found this video helpful, it would really help us out to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment down below. That's all I have for you today. Until next time, keep on playing.